Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's market summary for all things money. This week is ending of 7/11 of 25. The S&P 500 posted a slight weekly decline amid more tariffs threats. The Standard & Poor's 500 edged down 0.3% this week amid the Trump administration latest tariff threats. The S&P 500 ended Friday's session at 6,259.75, which is slightly below record highs it just reached a day earlier. The market benchmark hit a new intraday high on Thursday at 6,290.22 before entering the day's session at 6,280.46, its highest closing level ever. The index is up 0.9% for the month and 6.4% for the year. President Donald Trump said on Thursday evening the U.S. is going to raise tariffs on imports from China to 35% from prior rates of 25%. Goods that comply with the nation's free trade agreement would be exempt for now, and White House did say that the investors are still concerned by this threat. But Trump also warned plans to impose blanket tariffs of 15 to 20% on most trading partners, up from a 10% baseline rate in an interview that was done with NBC. Let's get into some market technicals. This week, the SPY, we can see here, is in more of a wave 5 to the upside here. We're seeing even more upside potential per this tap box here, but I'd say we've already reached the low end of the tap box, so this is actually adding probably towards some argument that we could have some pullback to the downside as a corrective move. The oscillator itself here is in an upwards trajectory, and we don't have any kind of rollover here as far as the green line going down. But if we do take a look at the moving averages here, we are a little bit extended away from the 10-day moving average, which I do like to see this coming back down and at least touching that before we do move higher. So just be aware that we could see a little bit potential downside before we see more upside. Let's look at the DIA or the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones this week is kind of in a similar pattern. We have the wave 5 tap box to the upside here. We haven't quite reached it, but we're close as far as making a touch of these other highs here back from early this year and late last year. We do see this trying to break out, and if we do, we may see this wave 5 being hit. And if we do follow like what the S&P's done, that's where it's likely to go. We take a look at the QQQs. The Qs are showing us basically a skyrocketing event to the upside here, and we are getting a little bit more away from this 10-day moving average green line here. So like I said, don't kind of keep that in the back of your mind that we might be seeing some rollover going forward as far as some market pullback. If we look at the IWM is showing just kind of a sideways ABC pattern. Doesn't really have much direction. We do have a doji here as of the close on Friday. Very much an indecision candle, so we really don't know which way this really wants to head. Right now, it's breaking to the upside. We do have all these moving averages crossing, so this is giving us more of a bullish signal than bearish signal. If we take a look at the TLT, its news is basically giving us information that this moves inversely to rates and price. So right now it's just a big consolidation pattern identified by these ABCs, but it is still predicting that we could see some more downside here, and that would be in conjunction with basically if interest rates stay high, then this would move lower. So that's just inversely proportional to that. So the market's kind of in no man's land here because it really doesn't know what to think at the moment, but just kind of be on the aware that the Fed could be with a surprise rate cut, and we could see some movement here that is kind of out of the ordinary. But this is right now is signaling more downside. If we take a look at gold, we do see actually some kind of just some stabilization against this backside of this triangle trend line here. I do see this breaking higher to the upside, especially if we have some more uncertainty or instability within the market itself. But this could look forward to going higher and tapping this wave 3 high. Silver itself has still been on a tear to the upside. It's expected to go even higher. We are seeing a very huge move here to the upside in silver as of Friday, which now it looks like is just below this lower end of the tap box. So it is getting a little bit overextended here away from the 10-day moving average or the green line. So just be aware that we could see a little bit more pullback, but with this strong of a bar, we're probably going to see more upside than downside in the near future. If we take a look at USO, where oil has been, we kind of see that it's pretty much staying within a range here. It's just kind of bouncing back and forth. It breaks out a little bit and then it comes right back down in there. Right now it's headed a little more bullish, but we're right now hanging around $80 a barrel, and without any sort of major news of any sort of things in the Middle East regarding oil, we should probably be not seeing much movement here. If we take a look at natural gas or the UNG, we kind of see that this is kind of at a fairly low point here, kind of trying to base here. It is forming a lower high, so that's positive itself from this one, but it's not saying we can't go back down and at least test this wave 3. So just be aware that there's more downside risk here at the moment than upside. If we take a look at the dollar itself has kind of formed this descending wedge, kind of broke out of this. So if that's the case, I do see this going up and at least touching this 10-day moving average. This dollar strength would also indicate that there's not going to be much of any rate cut coming up anytime soon as well. But when you do see this descending wedge, where it oftentimes will break out to the upside, and I do see this at least going to the 10-day moving average of the green line, if not the blue line here, which is the 30-day moving average. If you do have any questions or concerns that you want us to answer in the next market session, which would be next Friday, please leave them in the comment section below, and we'll make sure that we cover those in our following meeting. And until next time, have a great trading week and make lots of money. All right, take care.
As always, do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel, All Things Money, to see more content like this.